tonight. I almost cried when I finally met her because I was so excited. This has been an exciting time for me and our team in general. I'm just going to tell a little story about how we came across Gail. We were getting ready for the tea, and I went to Eastgate to do the last few things that I needed to do for the tea. Well, the tea is almost over, so I'm thinking ahead. Okay, now what are we going to do in October? I need a speaker. I want somebody who has a really good story. And as I was down there driving around Eastgate, this thought was going through my mind. And I had to go from Eastgate to Beechmont, and from people that are not from that area, you would take 275 most likely. But I'm from that area, and I thought, I haven't driven down Mount Carmel, Tabasco in a long time. I just want to see what my old stomping grounds looks like. So I drove across Mount Carmel, Tabasco, and I looked over, and I thought, wow, what happened to that Walgreens? It's brand new, it closed down. And then I looked, and I'm like, what is that big thing parked there? And it was the van. Did anybody see the van? Yeah, it's very noticeable. And I think God put it there because I need, something to get my attention because I'm a little ADD. And it caught my attention. And so I came home and I did what I normally do when I don't have information. I Googled it and came up with, my daughter said, well, Mom, it's all about how I make pink lemonade. And I said, I just don't think that's it. And so my husband said, let me go look. So he said, I think it's something about breast cancer. I said, oh, that's it, come finish dinner. So he finished dinner and I Googled it, or I went in there on Google, clicked on it, and I started emailing. And then I got the phone and I made a phone call all within 5 minutes. And within 2 days, maybe even a day, I got back to school. And my partner in crime is right here, Shannon. She sits across from me at the computers. I said, oh my gosh, that guy emailed me back already about the pink lemonade because I told her the story. And so I emailed Adam, is back there behind the camera. And I emailed him and I told him what we do. And he said, well, I need some information about your event. And so I told him, well, sometimes we only have 10 people. Sometimes we have 30. That's the most we've ever had. And so I basically just emailed back and forth asking information. And finally I said, here's the thing. And they're from Wisconsin. That you need to know that. They're here from Wisconsin. And so I'll tell the rest of the logistics story. But finally I said, Adam, here's the thing. And I typed this long email message. I said, if you can help me find somebody in this area to speak that has a story of how Christ helped them through their ordeal or touched them, that's what I want. I said, and it's very near and dear, and maybe I did try to tug on his heartstrings a little bit, but it's true. I lost a cousin to brain cancer in July of 2006, and the next day I lost a very dear friend to breast cancer, and in March I lost my father to lung cancer. And so I just told him, I said, anything you can do to help me will be great. I did not expect them to come from Wisconsin to come here. But his next email said, we'll be there. And so I'm so grateful that they're here. So that's how Gail got here. Now, this book is what she wrote, and it's about her experiences with cancer patients. Put that down. And it's a great book. And what I really love about the book, I'm sorry, I'm not used to microphones, is the cover. Really, I love it because this could be at my house. If you can't see it, there's a glass with a lipstick stain on it, and that could be my house. And then I thought, you know what? One of these stories could be at my house. One of these stories of cancer could be at my house. And she's written some wonderful stories in here. And her story in general is wonderful. I mean, it gives me chills to think of it. But it's about how she followed God and the lives she touched because of it. So, without further ado, I'm going to introduce Gail Zinda, and her son is Adam Rizzo back there. But Gail Zinda, she is an author of the book Pink Lemonade, Freshly Squeezed Insights to Stir Your Faith. She's a national speaker. She's an advocate for eliminating cancer. I love that. She goes across the country. She's traveled 30,000 miles in the past year with her cause. She's a wife, a mother, a bonus mom. She's going to explain that in a minute. And she's a Grammy from Wisconsin. And let's give her a warm welcome.
I think he wants me to do this. Is that right? Where is Dave at? Where's Dave at? Where's Dave? Oh, thank you all very much. Can you guys hear me?
No.
Dave?
Here, let me,
Buddy?
I can turn it on for you.
Help me. I took off my glasses and now I can't see. Is it on?
Yeah.
Do you guys, can you all see me if I just walk here? Are you guys good? I don't like being unlike you. When I was 5, that might have been okay. But for some reason, here I am a speaker, but I really don't like being like on the stage. Can you guys hear back there okay? So, yeah, it doesn't sound like this is... Am I on, Dave?
There's a on button, yeah.
Do I have it?
It's green.
It's green.
Keep talking.
We're green, buddy. The black mic, do you want me? Oh, there we go. There we go. We're on. I know I'm on now. Well, I really want to thank you all for coming out on a Friday night to join us. And this is really exciting because as you were telling your story, I have to laugh because the good Lord does work in really, really funny ways. The funny thing is I used to live across the river from here. I guess it's the river, in Maysville. You all are familiar with Maysville? There we go. Okay, well, I used to live over there. We had a farm, and from there's a lady here in the audience, I don't know where she went to, but from Maysville we went to Chillicothe. You all know where Chillicothe is? Oh, there's my Chillicothe connection. How you doing, hon? So it's funny, when Adam said that we were coming here, I actually have another little reason I have to tell you is that I have grandchildren here in Cincinnati. So it wasn't too hard when she said, would you come here? It's like, any chance I have to see my grandchildren? Absolutely. We moved to Wisconsin 5 years ago, so I kind of like roaming to Cincinnati quite frequently. When you talked about about lemonade and pink lemonade and breast cancer awareness month and all these things tied together, I am so compelled to tell you a story, and I hope that it warms your heart like it did mine and it changes your life, because I never knew the meaning of lemonade until I went to a little place in Cincinnati, Ohio, about 1989. I was a single mother. I had my 2 sons, Adam and Nick, and I was working as a nurse administrator for an OB-GYN doctor. Now y'all know what that is, right? Okay, so we're delivering babies, we're doing happy, life-giving things. But there was something in my heart that just kept saying, you know, there's more, this is just not right, this is not where you're supposed to be, even though I loved what I was doing. How many of y'all have heard that little voice? That maybe you're just not, it's not quite right yet, but you don't know what it is, but it's just not quite right. Well, we happen to be opening a mammography center over in northern Kentucky. And I'm sure you guys know where that is. Okay. Well, in my quest to do something different, the doctors that I work for said, do whatever you want. What do you think we need to do? And I said, we need to open a mammography center. Women are not getting screened for breast cancer, and there's a reason. And I'd like to know what that is. And so I went over to the hospital and I had a mammogram done. Now, I was not 35 yet, which is the American Cancer Society's guidelines, but I really wanted to know as a nurse, why are women not going and getting a mammogram when the doctor writes the order and they leave and come back a year later and there's no mammogram? So this is, again, back, remember, in the early 80s. So we opened a mammography center, and we provided screening and education, and we started teaching people, and most importantly the women, the importance of early detection. Now, that was a really rare thing to talk about back then because nobody wanted to talk about breast cancer. Quite honestly, I didn't know much about it myself, but I knew that this was something that women really needed to pay attention to, early detection. And one day, as I was doing my busyness with the mammography center, I was so excited. They let me design it and conceptualize and hire the people and do all this fun stuff. And we had lace silk gowns for the women instead of the traditional hospital gown. It was so much fun. The women came just because they wanted to see our gowns.